since he walked off on
Man,
y'all?
we were just talking to Angie Martinez about that yesterday.
We in Atlanta, so we run into him all the time. He do car shows. So it ain't never been no hard feeling.
Yeah.
I don't want to say no hard feeling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say first of all, I don't give.
Yeah, I get it.
But I give a because
Try to make it.
You as a person.
Yeah.
We the type of people that will never bring up nothing that we feel like that can be diminished to your career or anything, nigga, because we some real niggas.
Yeah.
The moment you leave
The internet is going wild after footage dropped showing DC Young Fly roasting Rick Ross in front of a hyped-up crowd. What started as a chill comedy bit blew up into a viral storm that had Ross shifting in his seat while fans lost their minds laughing. The clip, now pulling millions of views online, shows DC tearing into the rap boss with sharp humor, calling out his flashy lifestyle, constant hustler talk, and even his old rap image. The crowd's energy was electric, and by the end, it wasn't just a joke session, it was a straight-up public takedown. The moment went down during a live taping where DC hosted, and Ross showed up as a surprise guest. At first, everything felt lighthearted. Ross strutted in, rocking a massive fur coat, gold chain swinging, and shades sparkling under the lights. Instant attention. The crowd went wild, but DC, always sharp with it, saw the perfect setup for a roast. Ross looked like he just came from the zoo and forgot to leave the lion behind, DC joked, setting off pure chaos. The room exploded with laughter, but Ross wasn't laughing. He gave that tight smile that said he wasn't fully feeling it. DC caught the vibe and pushed harder, clowning Ross for his over-the-top spending habits, saying he sounded like he just finished eating money. The audience went crazy, phones out, people screaming. Even the other guests couldn't hold back their laughter. But Ross, he looked heated, trying to sip it off while muttering something under his breath.
and then did a podcast. A white podcast. You sat your for almost 2 hours.
And didn't leave.
And you talk. And the white folk asked you, was you a professional officer?
Yeah.
We would have never asked you that, nigga. We got respect for you.
Right.
And you sat right there and you answered that question so eloquently, like it wasn't even disrespectful. And then I get to sit back and watch that. And what's the difference between them and us?
Okay.
Now I feel disrespect.
Right.
Don't do us like that.
DC heard it and snapped back instantly, keeping the roast blazing. Don't get quiet now, big homie. We just having fun. You rich, remember? DC fired off, keeping the heat going, but that's when the mood shifted. Fast. What started playful turned sharp, like a roast with a real bite. DC started sliding in slick jabs about Ross's old controversies, never naming names, but the crowd caught every hint. He dropped lines about borrowed identities, label drama, and big talk with little proof. Everyone knew exactly what he meant, and the reactions were wild. This wasn't just about music or money anymore. It was about the years of people questioning Ross's authenticity and ego. The crowd loved it, screaming for every punchline while Ross sat stiff, trying not to break. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, people replaying every second. Hashtags like "Our Ross got roasted" and "DCV's Ross blew up." Some said Ross should have laughed it off. Others thought DC pushed it too far. But no matter whose side fans were on, everyone agreed. DC Young Fly owned that stage that night. You got 20 cars, but you still mad. How you own all that land and still ain't found peace? DC hit him with that line, and it landed like a sermon wrapped in a punchline. The crowd exploded. Cheers, laughter, phones up everywhere. Even Ross's fans had to admit that one stung with truth. But Ross wasn't laughing. His arms crossed, smile tight, vibe switched from cool to cold in seconds. At one point, he leaned over to whisper something to his team, and fans later joked online he was asking for a PR escape route. That tiny moment got caught on camera, slowed down, and turned into a full-blown meme. People online said Ross totally underestimated DC's quick wit, thinking he could charm his way through like in his usual interviews. Instead, he walked right into a verbal trap. Reports later claimed Ross slipped out early, skipping photos in the after-party, which only made the internet go even crazier. As people started whispering that Ross's pride took a hit, DC kept the momentum rolling. He dropped a quick video after the show, thanking fans for the love and joking, "Ain't nobody safe, not even the bosses." That one line sent fans into a frenzy, taking it as proof that DC meant every bit of that roast. He went toe-to-toe with one of hip-hop's most confident figures and walked away like a champ. Comedy fans are hyped, saying it's rare to see someone challenge a big name like Ross live on stage and win. But hip-hop heads are split. Some think Ross should have laughed it off, others say DC crossed the line with the disrespect. Still, no one can deny it. The viral clip showed just how thin that line is between confidence and insecurity. When a comedian with raw fire clashes with a rapper known for his larger-than-life ego, things are bound to explode, and this round, DC walked out holding the crown. For years, Rick Ross has built up the image of a larger-than-life boss, someone untouchable, moving on a level above everyone else. But behind that glossy persona sits a history of people questioning how real it all is. From the reveal that he once worked as a correctional officer to the non-stop jokes about his exaggerated rap tales, Ross has always battled critics who say his brand doesn't match reality. And DC Young Fly, whether by accident or pure precision, hit that nerve hard. Every punchline about Ross's ego, money, and contradictions cut deep because those same topics have chased him for years. At one point, DC dropped the killer line. You've been calling yourself the biggest boss since 2006, but you still arguing with everybody smaller than you. The crowd went wild. That one sentence summed up what fans have said forever. Ross's obsession with proving himself clashes with the confident image he sells. It was comedy, but it came wrapped in truth, and that truth clearly stung. For a man who's always prided himself on control, those words hit the ego right where it hurts. Since then, the internet hasn't stopped replaying, posting, and dissecting every second of it. Memes of Ross's reaction are flooding the internet with captions like, "When the boss gets bossed." Some fans even remixed the clip with wild sound effects, turning it into the newest viral challenge. Celebrities jumped in too, some laughing, others saying DC might have crossed the line. But no matter the opinion, the debate about Ross's real image is back in full swing. People are asking, is Ross really that untouchable mogul? Or has his confidence tipped into full-blown arrogance? DC's roast might have been all jokes, but it's made fans look at one of hip-hop's loudest figures in a new light. Meanwhile, DC Young Fly is riding high on the momentum. Known for his fearless roasting on Wild 'N Out, he's getting props for bringing that old-school raw comedy energy back to modern stages. Fast, sharp, and completely unfiltered. In a time when most entertainers play it safe, DC's boldness to challenge big names has made him one of the most talked about comedians in the game. His humor hits because it's real. He says the things everyone's already thinking, just with a grin. But this roast also sparked a bigger talk about respect between comedians and rappers. Two worlds built on pride, power, and truth that don't always mix smoothly. When a comedian like DC goes at someone like Rick Ross, it's more than just a joke. It's a full-on clash of worlds. The mix of ego, humor, and raw honesty makes it explosive, uncomfortable, and unforgettable. This moment turned into one of the year's biggest viral showdowns, proving that realness, especially when it's wrapped in laughter, always wins the crowd. Since the roast blew up, both men have stayed quiet, which only made people talk more. Ross hasn't addressed it directly, but fans caught him posting cryptic messages online. One said, "Bosses don't explain, they move different." And another showed him chilling in his mansion surrounded by cars like a silent flex. But fans weren't letting that slide. Comments poured in saying, "You still mad about that joke, huh? And DC had you quiet, boss?" The internet never forgets. And every attempt Ross made to look unbothered just turned into fresh material for more jokes. Meanwhile, DC Young Fly's been riding the wave, turning the moment into comedy gold. During a recent stand-up, he laughed it off saying, "I didn't even mean to roast Ross that bad, but when you see a lion in silk pajamas, you gotta say something." The audience exploded with laughter, turning DC's punchline into a full-blown rallying cry that echoed across social media. What's wild is how DC managed to stay completely in control of the whole situation. Instead of letting critics twist it into disrespect, he flipped the script, framing it as just another day in the life of a comedian doing what he does best, telling the truth through laughter. Every move he's made since has only boosted his reputation as a fearless voice in modern comedy. Behind the scenes, industry insiders are now arguing about whether this roast could shake Ross's image long term. Some claim it'll fade soon, saying Ross's loyal fan base and massive empire in music, food, and business will keep him untouchable. But others aren't so sure, pointing out that this moment cracked the flawless armor Ross worked years to build. In hip-hop, image is everything, and once that mask slips, it's hard to snap it back on tight again. That viral clip didn't just show Ross looking uncomfortable, it showed him looking human, stripped of the unshakable boss energy he's known for, and that hit harder than any lyric could. What makes this whole situation so fascinating is how it mirrors the shift in today's entertainment world. Back in the day, rappers were wrapped in mystery, untouchable, larger-than-life figures the public could only admire from afar. But now, in the age of social media, even the biggest stars can be humbled instantly. One awkward reaction, one sharp joke caught on camera can rewrite how the world sees you. DC Young Fly didn't just roast Rick Ross. He reminded everyone watching that realness, humor, and confidence without ego will always win in the spotlight. The saga of Rick Ross and DC Young Fly is going down as one of the craziest, most talked about crossovers between comedy and hip-hop in years. It's proof that in today's world, the microphone is the great equalizer. Doesn't matter if you've got mansions, millions, or a punchline ready to fire, the one who connects with the people always takes the crown. That night, DC Young Fly didn't just crack jokes, he claimed his spot as the people's champ. Sharp, fearless, and unapologetically real. The energy, the tension, the crowd's wild reaction, it all turned into a cultural moment that hit harder than any diss track. Fans weren't just laughing, they were feeling it, seeing someone speak truth with a smile and walk away winning the night. This viral showdown will live on as more than just a roast. It's a straight-up reminder that humor can flip the script faster than fame ever could. Ross might own an empire, but DC owned the moment, and that mic was his throne. If you enjoyed this wild breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this with your crew. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest moments shaking the culture. Stick around. There's always another story waiting to spark the next big conversation.